Hey G.I. Joe fans, welcome to this week's G.I. Joe toy review, where today we are looking at the Air Force uniformed Scarlet, which I didn't know until recently was known as Gelinda in another out of the United States release. This was Gelinda, but I found that out on a recent G.I. Joe episode of somebody doing a review of the G.I. Joe characters. Or at least the foreign versions of them. So, but here in the U.S., this is Scarlet. Air Force Scarlet. But, before we get to Scarlet, let's do our usual shout-outs of the week. First off, at 48 South Loudon Street, which is the home of Back to the Media, where you can get all, and I do mean all, of your video game needs, starting from the Atari all the way up to current systems, and everything for each console. And once you go to Back to the Media, if you need to get your console fixed, or your PC fixed, or your laptop fixed, or just to get other doodads for your systems, for your games, you can go to Play It Again Games on Middle Road, where you can get all, and I do mean all, of that fixed. You know, so definitely check them out. But if you need toys and collectibles, such as G.I. Joe, or Transformers, or any of the sort, you can go to Time Traveler Toys and Collectibles at 115 South Loudon Street. This version of Scarlet I got off of eBay. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, I still got several of my G.I. Joes from there. And, you can definitely check out Time Travelers, get your G.I. Joe and Transformers and Ninja Turtles and anything toys and collectibles associated at Time Travelers. So, see Charles and Mike and get your stuff done. And after you leave there, you can go to, Thinker Toys at 106 South Loudon Street here in Winchester to get all your toddler, his or her things, like slime and slinkies and farm animals and different things like that. You can get at Thinker Toys, so definitely go ahead and check them out. Some of their puzzles are even hard for adults to do, believe it or not. But definitely check them out. And once you leave there, you can definitely check out Play It Again, not Play It Again games, but you can check out 4 Color Fantasies at 80 Weems Lane if you're in the Winchester area, looking for games for your, or not games, but comic books for your collection. And if you're in Salisbury, North Carolina, you can check out Comic Monsters. So for your comic book fix. But if you're in Winchester and you got a tree issue, like you got a tree that needs to get pulled, a stump that needs to get removed, or something of the sort, you can check out Nick's Tree Service and have him take care of your tree issue. So definitely do that. After you leave there, you can go to Tropical Islands at 39 Piccadilly Street for all your Jamaican food needs, and see Lloyd and his wonderful staff for some good conversation as you're getting some good Jamaican eats. Definitely check them out. And if you're looking for a bank to go to, you can go to Bank of Clark or United Bank here in Winchester and check them out. Or go to your closest local bank that has the typical bank stuff that you are looking for. So definitely check them out. And definitely do that. And after you leave there, you can go to State Farm or Farmers if you're looking for auto insurance, renter's insurance, or homeowner's insurance, and get all of your insurance needs met. And if you're looking for gas for your car, speaking of auto insurance, if you need gas for your car, you can go see Sheets or Handy Mart and get all of your needs met for that. And definitely check them out. So definitely check them out. And once you leave there, you can go to not 4 Color Finish, but if you're looking for mental health awareness stuff, you can check out Robert C. Brown at Healing Grace Community Counseling Services. and get some counseling, some good advice from a good guy. But if Rob's not your speed and not your style, you can check out any of the other offices here in the Winchester area, or you get a hold of the National Counseling Group, or check out any local therapist in your area. There's nothing wrong with getting help, so definitely check them out. And once you leave there, you can go to seeing anybody there that you need. So definitely check them out. But if you're looking for like psychiatry, go and check out Northwestern Community Services if you're in the Winchester Front Royal area. And the Winchester office also has a pharmacy that can mail your prescriptions out to you. So you could definitely get some good stuff there at Northwestern. So I highly suggest them. There's nothing wrong with seeking the help that you need. But if you're looking for somebody to talk to right now because you can't get an appointment or the time of day, you could text 741-741 and text anybody that's on duty. So go ahead and feel free and do that. And after you're done, you could go and see. But if you need to hear a human voice, you could dial 988. But if that's not working for you, I suggest go to your closest emergency room. You know, and see. And there's nothing wrong with getting help. You know, there's seriously nothing wrong with it. You know, I respect people that do. But you could definitely check them out. And speaking of which, you could go and see that does. So let's take a look at Scarlet. You know, we're going to start with her file card. As you see a photo of the Air Force Scarlet, or Gelinda, depending on where you're from, with the G.I. Joe logo. Counterintelligence, codename Scarlet. File name, O'Hara Shauna M. Aliases, Gelinda Jane Mulligan. So I guess Gelinda is her surname, or I would think Mulligan would be her surname. But primary military specialty is intelligence. Secondary military specialty is pilot. Birthplace, Atlanta, Georgia. Her grade is an E6. Or an E5. And it says, Scarlet first learned martial arts from her father and 3 brothers, who are martial arts instructors. She began her training at age 9 and was awarded a black belt at age 15. She graduated summa cum laude. You know, where I graduated high school, thank the Lord. But, that's beside the point. And it says, she graduated summa cum laude from 2 Ivy League universities and went to excel in training courses at all 4 branches of the armed forces. The Cobra organization often mistakes her for just a pretty face rather than a member of the elite G.I. Joe team. Which makes her perfect for undercover missions on which she uses various aliases. She is a naturally gifted pilot who has flown in some of the most advanced military aircrafts in the world and is one of the G.I. Joe team's helicopter pilots. And there's a quote at the bottom. It says, beauty may be only skin deep, but lethal goes to the bone. I don't know who came up with that quote, but it is a good quote. You know, but it sounds like something Scarlet would say. But the one line I disagree with is her various undercover aliases. Because if you've seen the G.I. Joe Renegade series, the one where Duke gets arrested and him and Duke and Roadblock get themselves arrested, and they're in that underground illegal betting fighting thing in Octagon cage, and Scarlet's in there pretending to be a lawyer, trying to get Duke out, and she pulls off a horrible, not thought through disguise and plan that didn't work. But her accessories do come with her figure stand, upraised G.I. Joe logo, codename Scarlet on the front, and then she's got her pilot helmet with non-removable goggles, which I think are good for helmets. And then she comes with her parachute pack or backpack, a hand pistol, and her ever-present crossbow, which is 2 pieces, but I will not take it apart because the bow is very, very losable. So let's take a look at Scarlet. She does have her G1 bun-up, not ponytailed hair. with her straps for her backpack, I guess, and the white jumpsuit and white and blue, sky blue and some dark blue in areas. But let's take a look at her articulation. Her head can rotate, but it is hindered by the parachute straps. But it would be all the way around, and it does have some up and down and wiggly waggly. Her arm does rotate or lift up to here. It can rotate the full 360. Bend at the elbow. Rotate at the elbow. And it can rotate at the gauntlet. And her legs can split. Lift up somewhat to the front. She only has a single bend at the knee. And her ankle can rotate as well as pivot. So let's go ahead and get her all geared up. So I'm going to gear her up off camera, but talk a little bit about the character. Like I said, in the animated version, in the Sunbow animated version of G.I. Joe, she was a kick-ass soldier. I mean, literally a kick-ass. You know, she was a pure badass. And I've always said, you know, Lord willing, you know, I have daughters. And I agree with HCC 788 on this. You know, my daughter, I would want her to role model herself after Scarlet. And, you know, Lady J, you know, as well as CoverGirl for being badasses. You know, fighting for what's right and being, like, noble, total badasses. You know, and fighting skills to match their thing. So I would love to see my daughters, you know, model herself after women like Scarlet, CoverGirl, and Lady J. Especially Scarlet, being Scarlet is such a badass. And here's Scarlet in her uniform. You know, but go back to the Deke issue. She really didn't play that much of a role. You know, but she was more of your girly girl. In the comic book, she was also serious and, you know, badass and kick-ass of a girl in the military, which I am very, very fond of and supportive of. You know, go for it. In Renegades, she was a good fighter. She was very loyal to her cause and her purpose, which I could recommend. Very loyal to her friends and her unit. You know, so, you know, more power to her. You know, but her role as being in disguises and stuff, you know, and camouflage, I wasn't feeling it. You know, but that's me. But this is Scarlet. This is, you know, her in her Air Force uniform. I think this is totally badass as a character. You know, in your toy line, it's good to have her with the Air Force if she's flying a Sky Striker, or if you have a spare Sky Striker, or if you have a Skyhawk or a Dragonfly. He's a co-pilot or whatever. She's good at flying it, or she takes commandeers a Cobra aircraft, you know, like a Rattler or something. She'd be good to pilot it. You know, she is a good pilot if you look at the comic book and the Marvel run, and as well as the Sunbow animated series. I mean, totally kick-ass and straightforward and awesome. You know, and it's pretty cool. But this is week 2 of Women's Month. Next week we're gonna do a biker chick from the Dreadnoughts. You know, so hey, it works. But so tune in next week to see that. And now you know, and knowing is head to battle. See you in the next one. Peace.